At Stitch, we build enterprise payment solutions for businesses in South Africa.
We've just scratched the surface in terms of working with all of the biggest companies in the market. And there are so many product verticals to expand into. There is still a lot of upside and growth that's possible.
We're looking to further the work that we're doing in the online payment space. We want to go deeper in in-person payments, which is a new area for us, as well as start to acquire card transactions directly ourselves, not through banks. What enables us to move fast is the team. We have a phenomenal team that are deep experts at the product now. So a combination of large businesses that trust us and we can do more with, as well as a team that can execute really quickly.
We are very excited about continuing to work with South African businesses more deeply. And as we solve more and more of their financial problems, the financial metrics will follow.
A lot of hacking, a lot of writing, dirty scripts, just kind of getting integrations out, kind of getting the first versions of APIs out. It was less about best practices, more about
just about 0 to 1.
Yeah, shipping something, getting some basic UIs, basic demos out, but proving that we could integrate with the banks and doing every single one. Nuances, phoning friends, phoning family. Hey, can I borrow your username and password? Your login details. Don't worry, it's okay, this is safe.
We started to think about the customers that we wanted to target because Stitch was also in a different position at that time. We were a one-product shop. We had a pay-by-bank product, and we wanted to sell it to a lot of big e-commerce merchants in South Africa. I remember the first call we had with Bash, and we were pitching this future state of where we could be. It was a bit of an orchestration pitch as well. I remember Luke saying that they were precious about two things, precious about performance and precious about growing their business. And we just kept the relationship, we kept knocking on the door. And about a year and a half later, we eventually started to pick up some progress with regards to the actual sales relationship.
I think one of the cool things there is that they're one of our first enterprises, but for me, it was just every time we did something with them, there's oh, there's another thing, and there's another thing.
I think they liked all the ideas about innovation, but in the end, they were very performance-driven,
yes,
right? Because,
yes.
When we got in on those account payments, they ran an A/B test, and they didn't switch to us until we consistently proved higher conversion, right? And that was really how we got the uptake, was through improved performance and having a business impact that they could measure.
A couple of years ago, we made this decision to specifically focus on large enterprise businesses and who are they. These are the businesses that as consumers you see every day. It's large businesses with a very large client base where at the core they need a system that can seamlessly move money. There's a lot that needs to happen to make sure that one, the client has a very seamless experience, and then behind the scenes to ensure that everything that has happened on that client experience actually makes sense and it all adds up at the end of the day from a recon perspective. I think when things really got into flow when you launched that big enterprise client like finance, right? In a matter of 2 weeks, the company had to 5x. Suddenly we knew what to focus on. It was dashboard, it was analytics, it was getting our API docs. You were at the helm of that.
Building recon.
Recon is a thing.
Yeah, a lot of fundamental business.
Yeah. And then we had to solve all of these tricky things around money movement, our guaranteed product, fraud. Fraud was a big thing. I think why Stitch probably today is in such a good space to help enterprises with fraud and really being at the forefront of managing this type of risk more efficiently is because we actually found our fit in the crypto space, right? There is no other space where you see the wide spectrum of types of users than in that, especially in the early days when crypto was not as regulated yet. So we got to learn very quickly in terms of
24/7, 365.
24/7, 365. Yeah. We had a little fraud phone, remember? This little
Oh my word, remember the fraud phone?
Yeah.
Very loud, annoying ringtone.
And then one day, it started ringing.
Yeah.
It was that's
when what's that?
Yeah.
What we don't do is we don't just provide payment methods. I think that is something fairly unique about Stitch. We look at how money moves from point A to point B. We look at all the different elements that may affect that. And then I guess all the payment operations that are associated. So we speak around fraud, reconciliation, settlement. These are all issues that businesses and individuals in those businesses are spending hours every day of their time not doing their normal job, but looking at ways to fix the payment operations. So I think one aspect that we do above providing the methods is being an enabler of all these payment operations to simplify their processes internally. I think a lot of people are often going to their providers and saying, hey, we've heard about this new innovation, can you do it? And then they're scrambling to try and do it. I think there's two parts. One, we've already got it, so we're ahead and we're advising, we're letting them know. So I think there's a trust from a consultancy perspective. But then also, if we, for whatever reason, don't have the functionality or something that they need that's nuanced, like we say we do it and we get it to them very quickly and we do it with precision.
Where we're going is a more comprehensive suite of solutions to enable all of their payments and financial services needs. The same issues exist across their whole stack. It's not just the payment itself, but everything else that surrounds it from a business process perspective. Making the payment and accepting the payment is easy. The question is, what is all the things that happen after that? Does everything reconcile? Can our finance team close their books? Okay, are we gonna get fraud and chargebacks on these? And it's managing all of those processes around it that really matter to them.
With the advent of Bash, I think we became a lot more critical around which partners we were working with. We wanted a partner that we could work with that was going to be driving the same objectives as we were. Working with Stitch, the initial feeling was, let's experiment. Let's work with this team. They seem really driven and ambitious. And they seem to be after the same objectives as we are.
We started the relationship with Stitch with a challenge, which is we have existing partners. We'd love to work with you, but the starting point is that you need to beat those partners. Stitch took that on, achieved that goal, and we've kind of grown the relationship from strength to strength.
One of the main reasons I think we prefer working with Stitch is because of that relationship we have with them. The response times are quite swift. And whenever we have sort of challenges or obstacles that we face, we find that working with Stitch has just been the smoothest in terms of that collaborative landscape and the response times offered by you guys.
I'm incredibly proud of the merchants and the partners that we serve, the scale that we're at now, even though I think it's still very early for where we'd like to be. But it's like such a privilege working with the largest businesses in South Africa.